Warriors, is the crypto market going to collapse? That is the question today with the Warrior Academy research team. So I'm Coach JB, your top health and mindset coach in the world. Remember, what you believe in your heart, you think in your mind will eventually become your words and become your reality. If you can see it in your mind, eventually you can hold it in your hand. I need you to listen to this part right now. What you repeatedly see or do gets ingrained in your subconscious mind. What gets ingrained in your subconscious mind becomes an unconscious activity. And people are acting unconsciously right now based on the subconscious mind programming they're getting from the media that they're receiving. So is the crypto market going to collapse? Should you be running for the hills? What should you be doing right now? Now, remember, we are not financial advisors. None of this is financial advice. We just spend about 8 to 9 hours a day of research in the quantum financial system. We're just people who are very interested in it, have done very well in the quantum financial system, and we're working to teach people freedom as we move into this new realm. But remember, don't take us anything we say as advice, nor do you take the news as advice. The key is you have all the opportunity to do your own research. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be kicking it around the world. So we got Johnny Crypto, we got Abdullah, and we got Mario all the way out in France, which is very, very exciting. So this is our research team. This is where you see all the YouTube videos. I wish I could take credit for it, but behind the scenes, we're all working very hard to bring you information. Just a reminder, we are going to be in Las Vegas, Nevada on July 17th, Circa Hotel and Pool, 11 to 4 p.m. I will be the guy with the Speedo on. Just kidding, I'm not wearing a Speedo. We're going to be at the Circa Hotel and Pool. Thank you to Circa Hotel and Pool for allowing us to come there and sponsor our event. So we're very excited to see you guys. So I know Mario will be out in France. We'll have Johnny Crypto. We're going to have Abdullah there. You're going to get to meet Coach Kev. We're going to be all there together supporting you guys and saying thank you. Thank you so much for helping us out as we move forward. So, all right, guys, so we're going to kick it around. So I'm going to start out and I'm going to talk about, is the crypto market going to collapse? So we're going to go ahead and run through this really quickly, Warriors. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and I'm going to take you through a journey really quickly on what I think is going to happen. Okay, so let's take a look. Now, is it going to collapse? We have to really, really dive deep on this. Now, one of the biggest things is we know that in the world, the richest people in the world own the media conglomerates. So by the time you get news, Warriors, it's too late. You buy the rumors, you sell the news. Let me give you an example of that, okay? Elon Musk, okay? We hear these rumors, he's going to go on Saturday Night Live. All these rumors are coming out, right? I'm going to give you a specific example. So guess what? We started accumulating Dogecoin when the rumors started. Then that Friday, people were asking me what I was going to do. I said, I'm selling on Friday. Why would you do that? Saturday Night Live's on Saturday. It's going to go parabolic. So on Saturday Night Live, on Saturday, I'm watching TikTok. All these TikTok YouTubers, get into Dogecoin. He's going to announce it. And sure enough, I think it was about 3 times, he talks about Dogecoin. And immediately, within about a couple hours, it drops 27%. That was an example of buy the rumors, sell the news. So people were pulling their profits as all the people come rushing in. But that's not what we're here to talk about today. But do I think the crypto market's going to collapse? Absolutely not. Do I think we're in an immature market? Absolutely. And I think we're in an opportunity right now where we will never have price appreciation like this again in history. As things start to stabilize, as we start to get regulation, as the government starts to get involved, as you see them happening right now, first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it, then they join it. In 2025, that's when you start to see the real adoption, in my opinion, from my banking perspective. But I'm going to take you through some things to bring you back into a bullish narrative, and then we're going to hear from the research team and get their sentiments on it. So a couple things that have happened just recently. This is on July 9th. Now, you have to think, as I'm saying these things, why would crypto be going away or collapsing if cryptocurrency firms are bullish on going public? With SPAC deals, okay? Now, SPACs are special. So what's happening right now is you're going to see a lot of SPAC deals going on. So companies are moving into zero carbon. They're doing special financing deals. This is a whole new realm of finance, a whole new asset class, say. Okay, so July 9th, cryptocurrency company Bullish announced on Friday it had agreed to go public on the New York Stock Exchange through a merger with Fair Peak Acquisition. So that was announced today. Then USDC stablecoin backers Circle to go public, 4.5 billion SPAC deal. Coinbase is already public. Ripple, as soon as the case is over, is going to go public. So why would these companies be going public, or why would they allow them to go public or even submit to go public if cryptocurrency was going to zero? So these are things that you want to think about. Now, what's happening within the banking space is one of my favorite things to talk about. As I'm an ex-banker, I went to banking school, executive banking school, CBA, got a banking certificate in banking, right? I learned how to scale banks. It's very simple. A bank is not a nonprofit organization. Their job is to make money for the shareholders, right? So Wells Fargo announced yesterday that they are going to close all personal lines of credit. Okay. This is really important to understand. Why is this important for you to understand? Okay. So they didn't say they're closing auto loans. They didn't say that they're closing home mortgage loans or any asset-backed loans. They're closing loans that are non-backed loans. Why would they be doing that? To me, that signals that they think something is coming up, because if you default on your loan, there's nothing backing personal lines of credit. So they have no recourse. Okay, they're higher interest loans, but what they're telling us is that, hey, listen, we're not going to be just giving you a personal loan if you come in here. That tells me something is coming within the marketplace. Another thing we want to think about, so what I do is I do a lot of research in regards to what banks are doing around distributed ledger technology. And I find these white papers of companies building out their protocols of what the future of banking should look like. And I want to share this with you guys, and I want to show you what they said. It says, today, there are several examples of game-changing disruptions that suggest how banking may develop for the future, okay? They talked about gamifications. They talked about blockchain technology could radically simplify the payments and transaction world. Biometric technologies. These are hints on where you should be investing in the future, not financial advice. They allow seamless and secure digital authentication. If you watched our videos yesterday, I talked about Global ID 2020, and the new Xrp card is connected to Global ID, which is CEO is Greg Kidd, who used to be the chief, was it the chief financial officer? Not the chief financial, the chief legal officer for Ripple. So they're all moving these different seats where it's connecting the world, and we're investing in that technology, which is crazy. You got digital investments. So look at this white paper right here that I found, okay? So this, let me go to the top really quickly. I'll show you guys. I want to make you guys dizzy here, but I want to go to the top and show you the top of the white paper, okay? So this white paper, they're all talking about the future of banking. So this is Banks Reimagine the Operation Model of the Future. This is by Genpact. You can look this up, Research Institute, if you want to do your own videos out there, take a look at this, okay? So they're all working to reimagine the future of banking. So if you go in there, page 23 is blockchain and back office. Well, major disruptive technologies focus on mobility and payments have dominated the front office. The rise of DLT, distributed ledger technology, or blockchain has a potential to make an equally monumentous impact on the back office. The benefits of DLT are numerous. They're cheaper, they reduce settlement times, they remove the need for post-trade reconciliation, they reduce operational risk, and they offer powerful countermeasures to cyber attacks. The challenges for many of this paragraph is really important, okay? The challenges for many industry and incumbents, the move from centralized model to a decentralized one will require significant effort. For example, for DLT to become truly effective, terminologies, transactions, models, protocols, interactions, infrastructure, and identity management, and wallet infrastructure of crypto keys must be standardized. An industry initiative may be the best way to speed the process as opposed to individual efforts by industry participants. I wanted to read this line really quickly once again. An industry initiative, industry-wide. That's not just my bank or your bank. That's everybody coming together. An industry-wide initiative is the best way to speed the process as opposed to an individual effort by industry participants. So if you're a bank right now and you're wanting to shut down personal loans because your capital is being squeezed, right? You're needing to move into a customer service model. You need to move into a distributed ledger technology type infrastructure. You're going to work public and private sector coming together. And you're going to want to work as efficient as possible so you can move your money as efficiently as possible. And what banks are going to need to do is they're going to need to become the best at marketing and customer service. It's that simple. That's where we're heading. There's no other way around it, Warriors. So JP Morgan and Citi, these are older articles, but I just want to pull you back into a bullish scenario. JP Morgan and Citi are using blockchain technologies, and other banks are considering allowing clients to hold crypto in bank accounts. Bank of America Research finds. It's an older article in February. We know how quick news goes by, but we know that federally chartered banks can custody cryptocurrency. Bank of America, this is an old article. Tech chief is skeptical on blockchain, but Bank of America has the most cryptocurrency patents. Well, I talked to you guys about the cryptocurrency patent, and let me show you guys. I did a blown up picture of it, and I want to show you what it looks like. This is one of Bank of America's cryptocurrency patents. And I did this on a video, it's turned sideways, but look at this. What do you see there? Ripple Distributed Ledger Technology. This is in their patent document, figure 7. See the little Ripple coin here, Ripple Interledger Protocol, Ripple DLT. So let's take away Ripple. Let's take away XRP. This video isn't about XRP. This video is the fact that banks are going to move to a blockchain distributed ledger technology. That's a fact. In my opinion, not financial advice, they will not be able to survive without DLT as we move into the future. Okay. Another couple things, central bank digital currencies. This is an old article, but I'm trying to bring you back to the bullish scenario, get out of the FUD, right? Central bank digital currencies have full backing by the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements. Go study who the BIS is. It'll make a lot of sense why crypto is here to stay. BIS, this was today. IMF World Bank says central banks must consider cross-border payments implications of CBDCs. This goes back into what I was showing you right here, this paragraph. An industry initiative must be the best way to speed up the process. This is what the BIS, as I gather the sentiment of the article, is we need processes. We need systems. That's why regulation is happening right now. That's why there's an XRP, or excuse me, Ripple case going on. It's to slow down the process, in my opinion, so they can build the infrastructure so that they could take advantage and they can get their money. That's basically what I see in this. That's my opinion, right? And as they move us closer to the central bank, remember, the central bank moves us away from the commercial bank. So it creates a direct connection between us and the central bank. What does that mean if you're a commercial bank now? It's like, holy crap. Like, I need to change my protocols and I need to figure out a way to make profit. Remember, your job as a CEO of a bank is to make money for your shareholders. Unfortunately, it's not about your customer. It's about your shareholder, and your shareholders are pissed if you're not making money. Now, customer service is a way for you to make money. That's a byproduct of it. But when CEOs or companies get scared of not making money for the shareholders, they start to cut corners. So the banks that can't innovate, the banks that can't get on board with distributed ledger technology fast enough are going to perish. It's a blockbuster moment. They need capital and they need leadership. All right, so let's see what else we got. Oh, I want to show you guys this as well. This is how much the research in regards to CBDC development. In 2016, look at this. Look how much it accelerated going into 2020 when the pandemic hit. Boom, CBDCs went up. So this tells me right here, as you look this way at a pandemic, they're like, all right, we got everybody working on technology, digital wallets. If you walk into a Wells Fargo bank or you walk into a bank, what do they keep telling you? Hey, did you get your digital wallet set up? Get your digital wallet set up. Get your digital wallet. That's the new selling you a checking account. Get your digital wallet, because we want to run your transactions across our rails so that we can fee you and we can get your cryptocurrency and we can get your FedNow wallet so that we can be your customer service provider. Fees are going to be it. You're going to be in a rental-based society, fee-based society. That's how everything's going to operate. So I'll stop by saying this as I pass it around the world here over to Johnny Rotundo first, is this is what you're invested in. In the whole thing I just talked about, the new infrastructure of the financial system of our new world. I know I hate to use that word. That's the word they use, the new world, right? You have an opportunity to be invested in that. Now, the key is, what are you going to be invested in? That's the key to survive this game, because there's about 5,000 cryptocurrencies and about 99% of them are not going to survive. That's a fact. That's a fact. When regulation comes in, warriors, they're going to wipe out a bunch of these cryptocurrencies. So the question you want to ask yourself is, do I know what I'm investing in? Do I understand what I'm investing in? And what's my game plan? Is it short term? Is it long term? And also, are you surrounded with the right people who are going to help you through the game? So I'm going to kick it over to Johnny Rotundo. So Johnny, how are you feeling about the market? What are your thoughts on what's happening? Do you think cryptocurrency is collapsing?
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate that. So I think in the long run, no, not at all. Cryptocurrencies are here to stay. I mean, all the research, everything points to it. When you look at everything that's happening in the world today, not only is it here to stay, it's going to be the future for a long, long time. So as we know cash today, that's how our children are going to know digital currencies in the future. That's just the bottom line. And there ain't a damn thing any of us here or anybody out there can do to change it. It's coming, and it's coming fast. You see it with all the CBDC central banks. Every single central bank is testing it right now, or some of them have completed their tests and they're moving on. So the reality is, while they're doing this, the last thing a lot of these guys want is everybody getting in real cheap and early on. And this is where they create a lot of this, you hear the word FUD a lot, right? Fear and uncertainty. So they create a lot of that to push people in and out. And I think that's what you're seeing here. So you mentioned it earlier. to me, this market's all about the mindset. And if you're in this market with a short-term mindset, I totally get right now why people are fearful. When you look at the market, and if you just bought the top 2 months ago and now you're sitting there and you're down 50%, you're going to feel like crap. And nobody likes to see a down market or a sideways market. And that's where we are today. But for all you out there sitting there going, oh my God, I'm going to sell them when it comes up. That's the worst thing. And I'm not a financial advisor, but the worst thing you could do, and I've done it, is wait for it to get back up, sell to get my money back. And guess what? Once it gets back up, it keeps going up. But you miss out on that because you sit there like, oh, I just want my money back. That's the mindset you're trained when you're losing money. So I would encourage people that if you're out there and you're worried right now, the reality is I personally am in it more for the long term. I haven't sold a penny. I'm holding everything. I'm hodling because it's the future. It's coming. And no, I don't see it going down, Coach. In fact, I see this as buying Amazon before it was Amazon or Microsoft before it was Microsoft. So to me, there's three big catalysts coming, at least from an XRP perspective. Holders, if you're an XRP fan out there, I got to tell you, I'm actually really excited, Coach, because the three things I see coming is, one, you got the Flare network coming out soon, and you can go watch our previous video and you'll understand what the Flare network was about. But that's a huge enabler for Flare, for XRP. Two, you got the XRP lawsuit. At some point in time, that thing's coming to a conclusion, right? And when it does, that's going to be another catalyst to boom. And three, once that does come to a conclusion, you're going to get all the exchanges relisting it again. So there's three big things in my mind that for XRP alone is going to be huge. And I don't want to take up all the airtime, but if there's time, I'll come back later and talk to you a little bit about Cardano, what I think is going on there. But overall, yeah, this is actually an exciting time. If you've got money, you're sitting on the sidelines. Personally, not now, as we're going sideways, probably a great time to accumulate.
Yeah, it's like a bow and arrow, man. That's how I feel the XRP is just pulled back, and pop, and it's going to pop. But you got to be ready for that, Warriors. You got to have a game plan. We developed an amazing exit strategy that as the market goes up, because what we do know is it happened with Dogecoin. I watched it happen. It went up. It was you're trying to sell, and all of a sudden the exchanges are shutting down. Now they say it's extreme volume, right? Which is true. A bunch of people are going there, but it's also like a modern day bank run. When everything's going parabolic, people are trying to pull their cash flow out, right? So you got to be ready with the game plan, Warriors. So all right, let's kick it over to Abdullah. So Abdullah, how are you feeling about the market? Do you think the cryptocurrency market's over?
You're on mute.
Am I on mute? Oh yeah. So I come over from the stock market originally. So I had done stocks for about 5 years and then shifted into this market when I saw that this whole transition was taking place last summer. And obviously Coach JV is to thank for that. But one of the people who I used to follow on a daily basis was Cathie Wood, who manages ARK Invest. And she's one of the most prominent people in the market. She has great foresight and she has such good insight on what's coming before it even happens. Now, back in May, as Bitcoin had done its first capitulation when it had dropped from that 60, 50,000 all the way down to the low 30s where we're sitting now, she was on the news stating she still believes we're going to see a $500,000 Bitcoin within this cycle. I thought that was super interesting because I'm not a huge believer in proof of work, obviously, as an XRP investor. I'm a proof of stake guy. So I believe that eventually we're going to see the whole market shift to sustainable currencies that are carbon neutral and are capable of adopting the financial system without having all these unnecessary negative aspects of their currencies like Bitcoin and the mining that goes into Ethereum. Now, what I took from listening to her speak constantly is that the narrative is always shifting. And when Bitcoin goes from 30 to 60K, there's going to be a massive group of people saying it's going to 100, 200K. And when Bitcoin comes from 50 to 30,000, you're going to have another group of people saying it's going to 10,000 or zero. So usually the truth is somewhere in the middle ground in there. And that's what I've come to realize with all of these investments. Like I'm a huge XRP guy. We always come back to this, but the $5.89, the $100, there's the realistic price expectations are somewhere in between the most bearish and the most bullish. And that goes for the entire market. So what we're eventually going to see, and it's really about how long this whole process takes, is regulation and moving away from proof of work. It just seems inevitable to me at some point. So it depends on how we get there. If you have a long-term mindset and you're willing to sit in this market and wait for what you know is coming, you're going to win. These currencies aren't going away. You're seeing the banks adopt. You're seeing these SPACs. You're seeing USDC being adopted. There's credit cards where you can earn cryptocurrency rewards back. And I really think that we're just getting started. And this capitulation right here in the summer of 2021 is going to be looked back at as one of the best buying opportunities to ever hit the cryptocurrency market. And that's my belief.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. So I'm going to explain something. You tell me if this sounds right to you. So imagine, because we got a lot of people who are brand new to crypto, and people may see this in the future, right? So if I was to, so let's take, like, if people don't know what proof of work is, or like how Bitcoin works, right? So if I had a piece of gold in my hand and I had a debit card in my hand, right? So if I have a piece of gold and I have a debit card, okay? So I have a debit card right here. So I walk into a store and I have a piece of gold in my hand or a debit card. Which one are they going to accept in the store?
The debit
If I
card.
walk into the bank, can I drop that brick of gold on the counter? Now, both of them have value, right? The piece of gold is a store of value. It's something that's very, very important, right? I can use this just in case something happens. I can liquidate that. So would that be a good explanation just for someone who doesn't understand crypto in regards to it?
Perfect example of exactly what we might see in the end. It's like we have these group of people who I'm a crypto Twitter guy, so I'm always seeing all these separate narratives of people saying it's going to zero, it's going to $1 million. I believe that Bitcoin is going to be used as a store of value. You're never going to go into a coffee shop and spend Bitcoin at Starbucks. You're never going to go into Target and spend your Bitcoin. But there's a very good chance that there are going to be crypto assets that you do go into Target or Starbucks or whatever store you're shopping at, and you do spend those cryptocurrencies. Now, me personally, I would never do that because I see the price increase continuing all the way through these up until the next bull cycle in 2025. But I agree. There's going to be separate classes within this new asset class. There's going to be stores of value. There's going to be cash cryptocurrencies where people are spending those currencies to purchase assets. So that's a great example.
Okay, good. Yeah, because it's all about barrier to entry. I was talking to somebody about this with like security tokens, right? It's barrier to entry. Buying certain cryptocurrencies. If you're brand new, you got to buy, you got to go to MetaMask, you got to do Uniswap, you got to do all this stuff. Like, the barrier to entry is so difficult when you're new. It's like, forget it. That's why I'm bullish on crypto.com. It's so easy to use for a brand new investor, right? You're not going to be leverage trading on there. You're not going to be setting, you can't set, stop losses, but a barrier to entry. Go ahead. Yeah.
And I have one more comment about the capitulation we're going through now. It's almost as if you could see this taking place when we were in the bull market in the spring. You never run into these markets that just continually go up, 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 up. I mean, I haven't been around 100 years, but I can't think of a single market that's just consistently gone up without pullbacks. So these capitulation events, and capitulation just means when the price drops. It's the exact same asset it was 3 months ago. It's just the narrative surrounding it. So if you keep that foresight of this is what's coming, and this is a process where I'm actually able to buy these things at a discount, instead of looking at it like this negative sentiment of, oh my God, my Bitcoin's worth half as much as it was a few months ago. Well, you may as well take some of that cash that's decreasing in value, as we always talk about, and purchase something that you know is going to be driven up through price action.
Yeah, it's really that simple. And this is fundamental investing, Warriors. That's what we teach in our Warrior Academy. It's not a pump and dump, not get rich quick scheme. These are fundamental principles that will help you become rich. You think Warren Buffett's pumping and dumping, getting into something? No, I'm going to jump out, watching the stock market. He puts his money in there. He sits there. He collects dividends. That's one thing too, is that as we go into the future, as we go into a bear market, that's when the discipline kicks in for true warriors, right? So we're going to go through a bear market for 2 to 3 years, right? And that's when your discipline kicks in. It's like, do you really want to be wealthy? That's when you just accumulate, you watch the market, you see what's happening. I'm glad you brought up Cathie Woods. I'm obsessed with Cathie Woods because of her future, the way she looks at the future, right? She's looking at AI, robotics, all that stuff now, because she looks and says, okay, here's where we're at now. But you have to look and say, where are we going? What are the kids doing, right? My son is building ecosystems on Minecraft. I mean, he's building universes and houses, and they know how to build and do architecture on a virtual world. And so that's where we're heading, but you can resist it if you want to, but we're moving into a brand new paradigm. And then to go back to what Abdul was saying, the stuff I just showed you, DLT, distributed ledger technology, it's not built off of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a store of value. It's like buying gold. You got some gold that's going to be very, very valuable. But for the normal everyday person, and the barrier to entry is going to be the altcoins. So let's kick it over to Mario. Mario's all the way out in France. So first of all, how is it in France? And there may be just a little bit of a delay, but go kick it over to Mario. What are you thinking about? Do you think it's going to collapse?
Hey, Warriors. So first of all, I'm sorry if I lag a little bit. I've been struggling to get a good internet connection here. I just didn't want to miss this because I want to share a little bit of my sentiment. I'm kind of in the middle. Half bullish. I mean, bullish in the long term, of course, bearish in the short term. And if it's okay, Coach, is it okay if I just share my screen real
Yes,
quick?
please. Yep.
Just want to show a couple of articles. There we go. Oh, it's not letting me share my screen.
Let's see here.
Anyway, I was just gonna touch on two articles. So one of them goes back to something you just mentioned, Coach, where you showed an article that was a while ago of Bank of America and how they seem to be a little bit skeptical with cryptocurrency. Well, just recently, this article is as of 17 hours ago. They came out saying that they're establishing a cryptocurrency research team. So one of the questions that Johnny answered is, is crypto going anywhere? No, in the long term. It is definitely not going anywhere. I mean, the blockchain technology is here to stay. It's revolutionizing many industries, the banking and DeFi sector primarily. And there's no way that banks would even come up with a research team. I mean, look, just think about the amount of money that's involved in getting a research team together, and for them to even consider it and now developing it. I mean, it just tells you what they're up to. The other thing I wanted to touch, and that's the bearish side of that I'm on. It's just in the short term. So with the fundamentals can have a lagging effect. So all these things that we've been seeing with countries adopting Bitcoin and banks and all these really good news, I'm pretty sure everybody's noticed that recently we've not really seen the price be affected to the upside. Now, it's very important that these fundamentals can sometimes have a lagging effect, and it can take time for the price to reflect. With that said, on the short term, we've just had the news come out that Elizabeth Warren is giving the SEC July 28 as the deadline to figure out crypto. So what do I see as far as that? I see the fear come out in people, and that maybe could cause a panic sell. On the technical side, I've been hearing a lot of technical analysts. I'm not a technical analyst myself, but I've been hearing a lot of technical analysts say that there is one last push down that needs to happen. And I don't know. The way I look at it, there always seems to be a correlation between the news that comes out and what's actually supposed to happen. Just the same way as we saw the top of Bitcoin at the same time as Coinbase. Maybe we're going to see with all the stuff that's happening right now. I mean, we've got news of Grayscale as well unlocking a whole bunch of Bitcoin that could cause the price to go down. Some people are saying it could go down. Some people are saying it might not go down. But in all that together with this news with the SEC, I mean, let's see what they come up with. But that could be the short term and the expected drop that everybody's expecting for Bitcoin. But in the long term, yeah, I mean, the one thing that I saw recently as well is that getting money is easy, but freedom is the hard part. And also, we can't be thinking of the short term. You know, getting rich quick. You got to be lucky. I mean, if you got into crypto a year ago, I mean, you're doing pretty well right now, and that's the long picture that I look at.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love the thing I love about this is hearing different perspectives from all of you guys. And so the sentiment here is number one, Warriors, is you can't trust the news, right? The news isn't going to tell you what you need to hear. What we've learned throughout our group and what I've been studying is billionaires. I'm not studying millionaires, I'm studying billionaires. And what you do is you don't do what the billionaires are saying, you do what they do. I keep referencing back to the George Soros fund CIO when they asked her if she's in Bitcoin, and she literally started laughing uncontrollably. She's like, awkwardly. She's like, I'm not answering that question. He's like, it's like, okay, it's like, hello, like, here we go. And so you can either play the game, you can sit here and look this way at the narrative, or you can start to form your own narrative. Now, the key to this, Warriors, is building your own narrative. That's one thing I want to really tie into this with all of us, and why I wanted to bring the research team to the forefront is because this just isn't me, right? They're sharing their sentiments. I'm sharing my sentiments. I think in September, October, we're going to go completely parabolic based on the Bitcoin halving, based on the Shemitah that I just learned just recently. So these are all things that have connected for me from a spiritual level, from being divinely guided to this, in my opinion, right? And if I say to somebody I'm divinely guided, they could think I'm completely crazy. They're like, well, I was technical analysis guided to this. Good. But what you do is you form your own opinion based on developing your own strategy. I think that's the key part to all this, Warriors. And so no, crypto is not going to go away. Will it see some major pullback? Absolutely. Yeah, we'll kick it right over it. Will it see a major pullback? Absolutely. It's going to see some, probably you're going to see some big swings down. But the key is, Warriors, ask yourself, the cryptos that I'm invested in my long term, in my short term, and the key, I'll leave you with this. You're not going to go to the Super Bowl without a game plan. How much do they practice their plans over, or the plays over and over and over again? And what happens when the quarterback is in the fourth quarter, 3 seconds left in the game, and the quarterback goes against the game plan? What happens? Collapses. So you got to have a game plan. Abdullah, the floor is yours.
Yeah, so something we all agreed upon was that our own narrative is what's most important. You're not going to be able to, even this conversation here, it's not as if one of these narratives is correct and the other one's incorrect. Time will tell. But what we can say is that when the parabolic stage happens, and Bitcoin, for example, let's say it does reach 100K, 6 figures, there's going to be a large group of people saying it's going to 200K. And for example, if it were to go to 200K, there'd be another group of people saying it's going to go to 500K. And it works in both directions. So it's important to be independent in your thinking and creating your own narratives, not going to someone else expecting answers. And I think that's something we all agree upon.
Yeah, that's really important too. And have a game plan, where you got to have it. Like we all have exit strategies. We developed an exit strategy in our academy. So for example, my exit strategy, and I'll tell you a personal thing. When Ethereum went to 3,800 and above, I hit my first target. And I was like, I had this emotional moment where I was like, no, I'm just going to it's going to go higher. It's going to go to, everybody was saying it's going to go to 10,000. I was like, it's going to go higher. I'm not going to pull. I'm like, no, JV, follow the game plan. So I pulled out, and sure enough, it went collapsing back down to the end. So I made profit. I was like, awesome. And so what I did is I took that profit and I put it into a cryptocurrency that hadn't hit its, hadn't started to go up yet. And so it's this game plan that you develop. But before, I didn't have a plan. I was just in crypto, going along the way, getting wrecked because I'm listening to every other YouTuber, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to get into this crypto. Wait, hold on. He said it's this one, and I'm going to go over here. And it's like my money was all over the place. And I'll tell you 2 nightmare stories. I'll kick it over to Johnny. Is Harmony and Engine. So I'm going to tell you 2 nightmare stories. This is why you form your own plan. I had a lot of Harmony, That's all I can say. It makes me sweat when I talk about it. And I made a move into Bitcoin based on a YouTuber because I thought something was going to happen. It didn't happen. And then Harmony went parabolic. I would have been a very wealthy person right now. Engine did the same exact thing. So those 2 very financially heartbreaking moments changed the whole game for me. Like, F everybody else. I'm doing my own game plan. And it's been working very, very well. I've done very well from there. So Johnny, the floor is yours.
Yeah, Coach, we've all been in that situation where we sold the coin only to see it fly afterwards. Put in something else and goes down. So if it makes you feel any better, you're not the only one. But and it really is the moral of the story, right? Hold on to your belief. And that's what I wanted to chime about is if you're invested in a coin that has a real world solve, that's actually what gets me through these bear markets or these down, we have these down sentiments right now. The reason why I haven't panicked and sold anything is because every coin I'm in solves something in the future, and not every single one is going to make it. I recognize that we're in the early stages of a whole new entire market. This is internet 3.0, they call it, right? The blockchain technology, for people who don't understand, is really just a better, more efficient way for the internet and all platform technologies to work in the background. It's coming. And so if you know which ones to invest in, and if you join the program, you can see Coach's strategy and coins he's in, you'll see that everyone he's in is a real world solve. And that's why I feel confident is when you're in those real world solve, it's not like a meme coin where it does nothing and it's going to go away over time. You can feel confident, at least I do, that some of these are going to hit and they're going to hit big. And that, for you folks out there sitting there wondering, oh my God, what do I do? Do I sell? If you're in something that solves a problem, why would you sell it? Especially if that problem hasn't been solved yet and they're in the process of coming to solve it. At least that's what I'm waiting for. So for me, 2025, as these technologies mature and they haven't even come here yet. But there's been so much talk in the market, you think they're here, but they're not. They're not even working. In fact, Cardano, which is really a big one, a big competitor soon to Ethereum, is going to have a big release date of what they call the Goguen version at the end of August. And that is actually going to change the game. When they release that, that's now going to give Cardano capability for what they call smart contracts and DApps, or decentralized apps. And that means now people can start creating apps. Right now, every single app you use today works on Ethereum. That's it. That's the only thing that's working. But that's soon going to change. And that's going to change starting in August. Pretty interesting how it's timed to what you think, Coach, which is coming. But so my point is, if you're in these real world solves, sit back, give it time. Yes, I know it's hard in the bear market. I'm kind of agreeing with Mario. I'm kind of bearish bullish, but long term, fully bullish on this one. So invest in real world solves, and don't panic sell. Have an exit strategy. If you do those three things, you're going to be able to sit here in any bull or bear market. You're going to be able to survive through it. So that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, you just answered my question. So I have some cash flow coming in today. I was going to go all Ethereum. I'm going half ADA, half Ethereum. So that's your fault. I'm just kidding. Let me go over to Mario real quick. We'll get his sentiments since he's out in France, and then we'll open up if anybody else has anything else to chat about.
Yeah, so I just want to say something about something I learned personally, and that's that sometimes no action is the best action that you can take. And what I mean by that is that as a new investor, and especially in crypto, you hear you're on YouTube, you're on TikTok, and you see all these influencers just basically shilling all these weird coins you've never heard of. I'm with Coach. I mean, invest in real world solves. Just because the longevity, they have longevity. They have that 5-year plan where 5 years down the road, they're still going to be around, or they're most likely to be around. If you're invested in a meme coin, chances are during the bear market, it's just going to go away. But my point is just hold, be patient. When you're moving in and out of coin, you're getting hammered with all these fees. You think that you're chasing the pump, but you could be missing out, because your coin could be that coin that you moved out of could be the next coin to actually pump. So my personal recommendation is just hold, just be patient. And Rome wasn't built in a day, so neither is your fortune.
Right. Absolutely. It did fall overnight, though. Remember that, because they made bad moves, man. So Rome, but he said brick by brick, every single brick, you build the layers. And then another thing that we would like to teach you guys as we continue to grow this academy and what we do is now, okay, you make $100,000 profit. You have 100,000 sitting in the market still. What do you do with that money? That's how you build generational wealth. That's the key question you have to ask yourself. Now you got 100 grand sitting there. You're going to go buy an i8 BMW, or are you going to take that money and flip that money into an asset? That's what we need to do, Warriors. So what we're working to do is, as we grow this channel, we grow it, we're going to continue to help you understand. As I build, I'm building a Turo business in 5 months. My goal is to have 2 cars on Turo to start to build that. I'm going to go through it and see what happens. I'm going to start building more assets and more funnels. After I read Richest Man in Babylon, I finally figured out that my brain was working incorrectly. I was like, okay, I wasn't investing correctly. And so every time we get money, we make money. So Warriors, we're going to continue to bring you a video every single week. We are going to be live in Vegas next week. Maybe we'll do a live video in Vegas next week. That'd be kind of cool. So yeah, we will. We'll do a live video in Vegas. We'll make sure that there's no cocktails involved in that. But we'll do a live video, Warriors. But also, we're going to be at the Circa Hotel July 17th, 11 to 4 p.m. If you are going, please get your pool tickets now. There's a lot of people coming. So if you come to the Circa Hotel and Pool, if there's going to be a big screen, if your back is to the big screen, you're going to go up the middle. The Circa Hotel and Pool has been very generous to us. We'll be in the second row of cabanas. There's like a pool area there. I've never been there. I'm just explaining it from visual. And so we'll be right there in that first cabana. They've really hooked us up there. We will be with our research, with our Warrior Council on Friday. We're going to spend some special time with them. And then on Saturday, we're going to be meeting and greeting with everybody. So I know Mario won't be there. He's out of town, but we have Johnny Crypto out there, Abdullah. You're going to have Kevin anytime. You're going to have Jackie, who's behind the scenes. So you finally get to meet her. She's going to come out from her coming out party. You're going to get to meet May from customer service. You're going to get to meet Betsy. You're going to get to meet Heidi. You're going to get to meet a few of our people aren't going to be able to make it out there, but we're really excited to meet the whole crew. And I'm excited to say thank you to you guys. So if you'd like to join our private Warrior Academy, what is it? You get access to my exact portfolio. I'm not a financial advisor. None of it's financial advice, but I'm just honest and open. I share with you what I'm doing. We have a revolutionary exit strategy that's remarkable. We launched our new and improved one yesterday. We also have a 120-day challenge, subconscious mind programming, goal setting, vision board creation, discipline. You need discipline, Warriors. Fitness is very important. You have to move your body to get this thing to be clear to make really good decisions. But most of all, we have the most supportive, loving community in the whole wide world. Our Discord is remarkable. We go live 3 times a week in Discord. We have technical analysis calls, crypto calls. What we're basically doing is Think and Grow Rich Mastermind. We're bringing a community of people together that are like-minded, because when you go talk at the dinner table to your family at a Christmas party or a holiday party, they look at you like you're crazy when you talk about crypto. And it's going to be a while. It's going to be a while until next thing you know, they have the crypto card in their hand or they're using cryptocurrency to transact. So don't try to convince anybody to get into crypto. Just build your own plan, be safe out there, make sure you don't get caught in pump and dumps, and hold the line, warriors. So we love you guys very, very much. And as we always say, warriors rise. Make sure y'all get your shit together as well.